Right. What's the fuel source for anaerobic lactic training? Glycogen and lactic acid. So we can actually reuse lactic acid as fuel if you've provided enough recovery for them. So if they've done something over 30 seconds and I give them a 1 to 3 or greater rest time, they may have produced a little bit of lactic acid, but I've provided them a way to be able to flush that lactic acid and reuse it for energy. So what's super powerful about all this is that I can be a little bit more structured with how I take my program design and get the desired result, because now I can understand what fuel sources are they using, so that by the time their workout's done, they have used up the energy stores that they have, which is hopefully going to be anaerobic stores, right? And then now they're going to have the rest of the day to have to refuel and burn some stored fat to get them through the rest of the day. And that's a far more effective way to help them lose weight. So not only just in calorie burning or using the right fuel sources, but also providing an environment for them that's more anabolic in nature. So the more anabolic we take their training, the better it's going to be for them to get the desired result, because as we know, high testosterone, high insulin-like growth factor, decrease in cortisol means we're going to lose some weight. We on the same page?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
What else can I tell you about energy system training? I don't spend a lot of time doing aerobic training with my clients. And the reason why I don't is 95% of them don't like it. The ones that do like it, I say, yep, go crazy, have some fun. But if I know that that's affecting their rest and recovery, then I start to wean them back from aerobic training. And what we've found is that with aerobic training, and there's lots of studies can reproduce this, and Jake can find them all, is that with excessive aerobic training, increases our cortisol level. We increase our cortisol level, it makes it a lot harder for us to rest and recover. Mark Verstegen always says 50% of it is the work you put into it, the other 50% is the rest and recovery. So if you guys aren't planning proper rest and recovery times for your clients, and they're trying to OD or overdose on some of that aerobic training, then we got to kind of dial it back a little bit and find planned rest periods, as well as try to get them into doing a little bit more anaerobic in nature activities. How many of you guys have been subjected to circuit training or CrossFit training? Yeah. So I like CrossFit. I think it has its place in the world, and I'm not about to bash it. However, not everyone is built to be able to do that style of training. And I think one of the things where we're going to start to change our industry a little bit, and you guys are going to help us do that, is to help educate people on how exercise efficient and how much force is going through their body, and how their body has a tolerance to be able to handle that. Because if our goal is actually strength and power, CrossFit training is not the thing you're looking to try and do. Why does that statement seem so kind of wild and out there?
Because most of it's body weight.
Okay.
And your body adapts to body weight. You don't have additional load.
Recovery time's too short.
Yeah. It's force. Right? So if I want to, an Olympic lifter would probably provide a heck of a lot more force than, say, someone who is a long distance runner. So if they are being able to repeat that force for a long, long period of time and they become efficient at it, such as a world-class marathon runner, that's a different amount of force going through the body than an Olympic lifter trying to lift something for one time. So what I mean by that statement is two different goals, train specifically for what that goal is. So if we incorporate strength training events in an endurance format, we may not get the strength benefits that we wanted over here, but we could get the aerobic benefits that we wanted over here. Does that make sense? So it's not right or wrong, it's just choosing the modality, the energy system, the amount of force that's going to give you the desired result that you're looking for. Cool beans?
Cool beans.
Nice. Okay, what else can I tell you about energy system training?
Do you actually use any aerobics for active recovery? Maybe just 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or anything?
Yeah, so my program design, if I'm doing it with a client, I could use anaerobic power training, right, with less load on the bar. So let's say if I'm working with an Olympic lifter, so his goal is strength and power, I could get him to do 15 seconds of no weight on the bar, but working on technique, or what we call patterning, to make them more efficient at a particular pattern as a rest and recovery day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I got an Olympic lifter, and let's say he's really burnt out, it's Friday, and we're supposed to do 240 reps on that workout, and he comes in and he's just absolutely bagged, I can take the load right off there, still do those 240 reps, work in that energy system that he needs for his sport, but we just do patterning all day. So we go from the hang and we do pulls, right? And so we could just do our pattern work and get the same desired effect, which is, for that day, rest and recovery, so that he's stronger on Saturday. That make sense?
Yes. Cool beans.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah. Look at this guy. Another fishing with a whole dude. Okay. Just give him that example. John.
Should I try to triangulate this? You don't want to know that.
That nomenclature you said?
Yeah,
No.
nomenclature that, Sinclair. No way.
Hey, Mr. John, I have a client who's a boxer. He's gonna be fighting 3 rounds, and the rounds are 5 minutes per round with 1 minute rest. What energy system should I be working in mostly to try to target what's better for him?
Excellent question. Because as he's working in the ring, he's not necessarily always throwing punches for 5 minutes straight, is he?
No.
No. So he's going to have bits of active recovery within that. From my experience of working with MMA fighters, it's...
He's a MMA fighter.
Pardon me?
He's an MMA fighter.
Oh, he is MMA, okay. So for an MMA fighter, what's great about that is that you have to take them to lactate threshold all the time. So you have to push them and get them to be able to perform work greater than what they would have in that training session. So that's why it becomes really important that you start monitoring their performance as well as their heart rate and how quick their heart rate can recover. That's what I found to be really effective, is push them through an intensity that's going to get their heart rate as close to max as possible and then let it recover. So at any period of time, 10 or 15 seconds of recovery, see how long it takes their heart rate to come back down. I've always said someone with a really efficient cardiovascular system, it's not how long they can perform work for. It's how hard can they perform work for a given period of time till they can't perform that work any longer, and then how quickly can their heart rate recover so they can perform work again. Does that help?
Yes.
Yeah. And so now you would just start periodizing or progressively overloading their program, so you would try to take them to the point where their capacity is, boom, 5 minutes at the end of that round. So if they have the ability to be able to work for 5 minutes without stopping and be able to do that quite efficiently, man, you got yourself a powerful athlete, and will likely outlast the other athlete. You know, you saw, did you watch the Shane Carwin